Hello traders, welcome back to my channel. My name's Cameron. I've been a full-time futures trader for 27 years, and every week I post some of my trades that I've recorded live, and I share with you some of the lessons that I've learned during my career to help you make trading more simple. Now today's video is a live trade that I've just taken on the Nasdaq. So if you like the video, please click on the like button down below, subscribe, select notifications, and if you have any topics that you'd like me to discuss, then please leave a comment. Short intro and a disclaimer, and then let's get into the trade. Okay, so we're just watching the Nasdaq at the moment. The US market is open. I'm just watching the Nasdaq 5-minute bar is just closed. And I'm just keeping an eye on this because I think there's a possibility that something might be coming up. So just go to a larger time frame for a second and just show you what I'm looking at. So as I've spoken about several times, my trading plan is very straightforward and very simple. The first thing is this trend. So I've got a high and a low and a lower high. So the most important part of a downtrend is a lower high. If you're going to go short, you want a lower high breaking of a low. So we've got a high, a low, and a lower high. If I go to this 5-minute time frame again, high, low, lower high, and I'd be looking for a breaking of this low for a confirmation that it's downtrending. The other thing I'm looking for is a retracement or a pullback. So you can see here we've definitely got a retracement or a pullback of this level here. So down and across, retracement. And the last rule that I'm looking for is what's called space, or a breakout in other terms. So a breaking through this significant area here, and as I say that, the bar is just breaking through that level. So with my trading rules, I don't enter until the close of the bar, because this could just come straight back up and it could be a false breakout. So I'm just going to wait for a couple of seconds. I've got 3 minutes to close till the close of the bar, and if I do enter this trade, it will be a couple of seconds before the close of the bar. Okay, so a minute to go, and just going to go over exactly what I was talking about before. We've got 50 seconds before the close of this bar, so this is looking like a possibility that I'll enter this trade. We don't need to go over things again, so we just go high, low, lower high, and a breaking of the low. So it meets trend. We're looking for a retracement, so it meets retracement, and at the moment it's going to be closing below this area here. So there's a high probability that this will continue on, so I'm going to take this trade as long as it stays at this level here and doesn't close above here. So I'm going to be taking 50 contracts, so I'll have to do 2 lots of 25. So I'll work that with around about 10 seconds to go. I'll do 2 lots of 25. So I've got a couple of seconds to go in now, so I'm going to do 25 there, and I got taken out straight away. And so now we've got a couple of seconds to go, and I'll just do it one more time. 25. Okay, it's taking me out straight away. So I've now got 50 contracts short at 14,990.75, and now we've got the close of the bar. Okay, so I'm just going to move this out of the way. This is my sometimes I'll have a profit target set in, but I've got a stop loss in here at the moment. Now I usually have my stop loss at the high of the bar, but because we've gone well into profit, I'd move it up to 50%. 75% or 50% of the bar. I'm just going to leave it here for the moment. I'm just going to watch this bar. So I look at things from a form reading perspective. We use price action, and I will see what this bar tells me in terms of who's in control. So at the moment, this high is lower than this high. Sellers are in control, and we've just had a big drop. So okay, so I'm going to protect my profit here. I'm not going to let this profit turn into a loss. I'm going to move my stop, or my profit stop, to this area here. So right now I cannot have a loss. It may come straight back up and take me out because it's done a lot of price already. So, but my golden rule is I never let a profit turn into a loss. So it may come back up, and then I may have to look at re-entering or something like that. But at this stage now, I can look at this. I'll also go to a lower time frame. I'll go to a 2-minute chart, and I'll look at the form reading on that chart as well. So right now we've got 48 seconds to go on this 2-minute bar, and that is a really strong bar in opposite fifths on the downside. So just based on that, I am just looking at this. High, lower high, lower high. Sellers are lowering their prices. Sellers are in control, so there's no reason to get out of this trade. Okay, now what I've done is I had a bracket order in there. I've just taken that out now because this is not going to be a short-term trade. We have a high, a lower high, and another lower high. So I am just going to look at putting another stop in the market, and I'm just going to do to buy stop market, and I'll just move that up to that level again, and I just don't want to get it too close again. Buy stop market, and we'll just put it to this level here as well. So now I've taken my profit target out. I can just keep looking at these bars. I can move this down to 50% now because we are in profit and I want to protect that profit. As I've said before, big rule, never let a profit turn into a loss. So we've got a high, lower high, and a lower high, and we'll see what this bar tells us. We've got 30 seconds to go on the close of this bar, so let's see what happens. Okay, so close of that bar, the 2-minute bar. Again, we entered off the 5, so you can see the 5-minute bar here. Based on where we entered, we've almost got a full bar return here, so 1 for 1 in a sense. So we're well in profit, but I also know that this could turn around very quickly. So I'm just going to watch the bars in here. We've got a high, lower high, and still another lower high. So the sellers are clearly in control, and there's no reason to sort of panic. I've got my stop in the market here, or my profit target stop in the market here. So I cannot have a loss on this trade. I can only protect the profit that it's in. But still, the bars are telling me the sellers are still in control. So there's no reason to be sort of thinking anything else at the moment. Just look at the form reading, look at the price action, and see what the bars are telling you. Okay, so just looking at this bar, we've had a really strong move down, a lot of price. You could see that from a psychological perspective. There could be panic on the downside, but you can also see now it's starting to come back up. So we've got 20 seconds to go. It'll be very interesting to see how this bar closes, whether it closes down below to show a lot of weakness, or whether it actually comes back up to the level here. And as I say that, it's actually finding support. So this is a sign of strength in this bar. It's opened high, come all the way down to here, and now it's closing up high. So we could say there's a high degree of probability that it could come up after this, but I'm not going to be sort of like putting my stop so close. What I will do is I'll look at around about 50% of this bar here. So I'll move my stop down to 75%. Okay, around about that area there. So that would be a really strong bar up if that happened. Now remember what I've spoken about a lot before. The reason why we get in is someone is clearly in control, and the reason why I get out is because there's doubt on who's actually in control. So if in doubt, get out. So I can see here that this is quite a strong bar, but we've also done a lot of price, so it could spike up and then come back down and then keep going sideways. So again, I don't want to be too aggressive. Watch the bars, take my hands away. I can't have a loss on this trade, so let's see what the bars tell us. Okay, so 20 seconds to the close of the bar, and it looks like we possibly are about to get stopped out. So it's coming up to that 50% level. I'm not going to move anything. If I get taken out, it's still a profit, which is great. 10 seconds to go, so it could just come up towards the close and take me. No, it's actually dropping. So there you go. So it's actually coming back down. So that shows strength on the downside. So sellers are still clearly in control. The downside is still clearly in control. No reason for me to get out. Just sit here and keep watching it. Okay, so 15 seconds to go on the close of this bar. Stop is still in place. We've come all the way up, come back down. We've come all the way up to this level again, and it looks like we're going to close weak, which is the open and the close are exactly the same. So there it is. So we've closed at that level. So I'm now going to move my stop down to that level there. So I'm just protecting my profit as I go along. We've got a level of resistance there, 2 levels, a high, a lower high, and now another lower high here. So we'll just watch this bar, see what it does. Now you can see this bar here, it's quite a significant bar. We've had a couple of small bars, and now we've got a really strong bar on the downside. So this indicates quite a bit of emotion. There's a lot of possibly panic, but also sellers going into this. So we've got 20 seconds to go. If this is a really strong bar on the downside, it could continue, but it has done a lot of price. I'm very aware of how much price we've done throughout here already. So this could also turn around. So I'm going to move my stop to the high of this bar. We've got a couple of seconds to close because it's such a strong bar. So I'm going to move everything to the stop to the high of the bar, that area there, and now I'm going to watch to see. Now straight away, as soon as it's come back up a little bit, we're now starting to test 50%. So I'm just going to watch this bar and see what it does. Okay, so with 30 seconds to go, you can see this bar is now quite strong. So I'm actually going to just move my stop down here to 75% of the bar, because this is now telling me there is doubt on the downside. So it could drop back down, but I'm just going to see it probably take me out. Okay, so there we go. So I've been taken out there. So it's taken me out at this level throughout here. So I'm just going to keep watching this for a second to see what happens. We've got a couple of seconds to the close of the bar. Okay, so that has closed in opposite fifths at the top of this bar. So based on that area where I got out, it seems like there's a high probability this will go up, and it's actually starting to go up. Okay, so looks like we got out at a good place, but the important thing is we got in based on trend, pullback, and space, and I've gotten out based on form reading and momentum. So I'm not using any emotion. I've gotten in based on rules, and I've gotten out based on rules. So hopefully this has helped you, and look forward to seeing you next video.